Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brandon Morvillius. Alongside here with me is cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy, live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com here with Lady Raider Volleyball coming your way here this evening from Elwood High School in Elwood, Indiana. The Regional 10 Championship game is upon us here this evening as we have the 24-11 Wabash Apaches taking on your 29-5 Wapahani Raiders. We appreciate y'all for joining us here for some Saturday night volleyball here on the WHS Network as we get right into things with our Raiders Live pregame presented by FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. So, the table's been set here, folks. Wapahani defeated the Seeger Patriots earlier on this afternoon in straight set fashion, 25-16, 25-19, 25-13 to advance on to tonight's Regional 10 Championship game. While Wabash, here on the other side of things, defeated Tipton earlier on this morning in the first game of the day at 10 o'clock. They defeated them in 4 sets. Wabash, a very, very impressive group of ladies to watch. I know we got the opportunity to watch them earlier this morning when they was taking on Tipton. And they're definitely as advertised. I know we touched on them there with the preview show, the Regional 10 preview show that we had just a couple days ago. Just kind of gave some information about every team that's in the tournament, the opposing teams anyway, that Wapahani might face. And obviously, this is a team that definitely poses a huge threat to anybody. Overall, well-rounded team. They do have some different areas that, statistically anyway, doesn't look all that lovely. When you look at overall the kills percent, hitting percentage, things of that sort, serving errors, definitely, makes you raise the eyebrows here a little bit here. 9.2 kills a set, a 115 percentage from a hitting standpoint. Also, 284 serving aces, 263 serving errors. Those are very, very big numbers. Obviously, from the serving aces standpoint, that's pretty good. Just a little bit above what Wapahani had coming into the day. Wapahani had 240 aces, while, again, Wabash with 284. But the serving errors are definitely something to really take a look at as well. I talk about that all the time and how important serving is. Just being able to keep the ball inbounds, in play to where, obviously you want to make your opponent make the mistakes. Now, I know from the first game today, which we only got to watch about a set or so, didn't, see a whole lot of trouble with the serving standpoint. Did have some hitting miscues, but they got some offensive firepower like nobody's business. Mariah Wyatt coming into the day with a team-high 292 kills, also 26 aces, 104 blocks, 161 digs. Also another young lady to really take mention of here is Olivia Short, which she is, trying to find her number here. She is number 13 here for the Wabash Apaches. Comes in here with 253 kills, 66 serving aces, also 80 blocks, which is second on the team, and also 197 digs. Another young lady that is not only big time from the serving line, but also in the back row is Haley Faust with 74 serving aces, also 666 digs coming into the day. And then finally Lexi Westendorf, the setter here, coming in with 482 assists on the year. So just some key ladies you really want to take a look at here. Wapahani is going to come out here and put a solid game plan together and hopefully execute it to a T. They've got to make sure that these young ladies don't have a huge impact in tonight's game, rather. I know in that first game there against Seeger, they had a couple young ladies on that Patriots team that was pretty good. Wapahani, for the most part, did a pretty solid job of conducting business and making sure that they weren't too big of a factor in the game today, and we was able to come away with a straight set victory. But this is a whole new animal right here. This Wabash team, very impressive. So is Wapahani, and we're eager to get things going here tonight, folks. We got the national anthem coming up. as well as the rosters for both teams. And then ultimately tonight's Regional 10 Championship game live here on the WHS Network. So we'll go ahead and stick right here with you. Again, that was our Raiders Live pregame presented by FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. So we greatly appreciate them for their sponsorship. Not sure quite yet if they'll be doing lineups first, then the national anthem, or national anthem, then lineups. So we'll kind of wait and see here. Kind of bear with us just for a brief moment. Again, we appreciate Elwood for their hospitality here and getting us a pretty nice seat in the house. A little bit of a closer up version than what we're usually accustomed to, but still great seat in the house, and we appreciate them for being great people and being great to us, and it's worked out very well. So hoping to cap the day off with a championship crown here for your Wapahani Raiders. Again, another nice group of fans here tonight. Wapahani fans, obviously you can see all over the screen there. Pretty nice showing. I got to give them a lot of credit as usual. The Raider Nation always comes out and supports, and obviously we're going to need them here tonight, no question about that. So it's great to see a large crowd here tonight from Elwood High School. And for those of you watching wherever you might be, we appreciate you all for joining us here as well. So we'll take a look here at the rosters, I guess, before the national anthem here this evening. So we will start off here with your Wapahani Lady Raiders. Number 1, Olivia Smith. Number 2, Reese Baker. Number 3, Emily Stewart. Number 4, Gracie Stanley. Number 5, Emma Shuck. Number 6, Ashton Zitgraff. Number 7, Chloe Cook. Number 8, Allison Stewart. Number 9, Mallory Summers. Number 10, Briley Felton. Number 11, Macy Bowden. Number 12, Cameron Wise. And number 16, Cadence Brewer. Again, the Raiders coached by Katie Weir, assisted by Paige Williamson, Lindy Davis, and Madison Mangus. So again, that is your 29-5 Wapahani Lady Raiders. Now we'll take a look here at the Wabash Lady Apaches. Again, coming into tonight's contest at 24-11. So we'll just run down here again. Unfortunately, they do not have these numbers in numerical order, which is a pet peeve of mine, but just got to go with it here. Number 17, Kendall Fields. Number 19, Alexis Westendorf. Number 13, Olivia Short. Number 5, Jordan Stumbo. Number 2, Delaney Truman. Number 3, Emma Tracy. Number 12, Hayden Prees. Number 4, Alicia Kuhn. Number 24, Kendra Wiles. Number 21, Mariah Wyatt. Number 23, Marina Engardiard. Also, number 7, Ashlyn Cruz. Number 18, Sydney Osborne. Number 10, Farron Morris. Number 15, Jade Stumbo. Number 6, Haley Faust. And number 9, Brooklyn Westendorf. Again, the Wabash Lady Apaches are coached by Katie Cromer. So, folks, there's the lineups here for both teams. And what should be a great one here, folks. Again, we appreciate y'all for joining us. Make sure to stay tuned. We got tonight's game coming up live here on the WHS Network.
right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
All righty, welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, as we get things started here tonight. Again with the Regional 10 Championship game. Again, the Raiders will be back to serve. And we'll have number 2, Reese Baker, to open up things here for your Raiders. And tonight's game is officially underway. Dugout there set up here to number 13, Olivia Short. Stewart sets it to Cook. Oh, for heaven's sake. That ball was inbounds, and the line judge called it out of bounds. It hit his foot, which would have been inside. That would have hit the line. But hey, nevertheless, it is what it is. 1-0 Wabash. Smith with the dig. Stewart with a set up to the wraparound. The Cook. Yes! Tied at 1. Substitution in here for Wabash. We'll see number 17, Kendall Fields. And now back to serve here for the Raiders, number 1, Olivia Smith. Dug by 17, Fields on the attack there. Smith with a dig. Stewart sets it up to Summers. Another fine dig there from Fields on the attack. That time was Mariah Wyatt. Set back to Summers one more time and out of bounds. But just a little too much on it. So 2-1 Wabash. We'll see now number 10, Farron Morris, now in here for the first time tonight. And back to serve being number 6, Haley Faust. Rather, it's not 2-1 Wabash. It is 2-1 Wapahani. They had a correction there, a net violation. So 2-1 Wapahani now after the net violation on Wabash. And Cameron Wise bringing down the house here with a 3-1 lead. So again, Smith back to serve. Raiders on top here by a pair. Number 3 with the set up there. That was Emma Tracy. Dug out by Stewart. Set to Summers. And out of bounds is the call. Point there for Wabash. Now 3-2 affair here with, again, number 10 coming back in here. That is Farron Morris. She came in a moment ago, but obviously with the changing of the point going towards Wapahani, she had to go back out and let play resume. Handled there, and that's going to be an ace for number 6, Haley Faust. So now tied here at 3 in the opening set. And another ace sent backwards off the hand of Baker. So a 4-3 Wabash lead. Dug by Stewart. Stewart sets it to Wise. Deflected out of bounds off of Haley Faust. And the Raiders back on the board here, tying things up there with the kill from Cameron Wise. Tied at 4 with Emma Shuck back into the fold here for Wapahani. And Allison Stewart back to serve. Tipped across. Stewart mishandles it and sent out of bounds. Again, another point there goes to the Apaches with number 15, Jade Stumbo now in the ball game for the first time tonight. Number 19, Alexis Westendorf back to serve. Shank to the left side. Shuck will get there, and the Raiders all out of sorts on that play. Baker again shanks it to the left side, so having some early trouble here by Baker. Already 3 miscues there. You hate to see that there for the young lady, but nevertheless, still going to have confidence out there. Got to make the play. There's Smith on to Stewart. Set to Summers. Bringing it there, bringing some steam. Now 7-5 with the kill for Mallory Summers. And we will have Summers back to serve. Dug out there by, I think that was by number 19. Smith with a setup. Back to Summers one more time around. Another one bites the dust there for the Apaches as Mallory Summers strikes again. Dug out there by Faust. Tipped across. Deflected. Nice job there by Wise, keeping it alive. Back to Summers one more time, and she has got the hot hand right now. As we are now tied at 7. Got to keep this train trucking on down the track here. Sent there to Mariah Wyatt. Bringing it hot and heavy right there. Again, coming into the day, Wyatt with a team leading 292 kills. And we see why with that kill right there. So Wyatt there back to serve. Summers receives the serve. Set on to Wise. Blocked. There was Summers. Now Stewart set to Baker. Dug by Stewart. Smith with the setup to Summers. A little too strong. And didn't quite get the flick of the wrist right there. So Wabash back on top here by a pair. And into the net. Talked about that earlier as well there in the pregame. We'll see if that becomes a factor in tonight's game or not here for Wabash. As we'll see number 1, Ashlyn Cruz back in here for the Apaches. Also now in here is Chloe Cook as well as Gracie Stanley. She just came in for Emma Shuck. So Stanley there back to serve. Faust with the dig there. Set up there to number 13 short. She spikes that one down to once again give the Apaches a 2-point lead. See Olivia Smith back in here for the Raiders, and serving now will be number 10, Farron Morris. And that more than likely would have been headed out of bounds right there, but unfortunately Smith took the ball there and unfortunately shanked backwards for another serving ace for Wabash. Stewart with a set up to Cook. Dug out there by Cruz. And a 2-hit call. So point there goes to Wapahani. We'll see number 3, Emma Tracy back in. And now for Wapahani, we will see Emily Stewart back to serve. Skipped over the top of that. Nice job there by Cruz to stay with it. There we go. Great opportunity. Cook bringing it there. Nice dig. Stewart tipped it right back across. Set up to Baker. There was number 19, Westendorf. Back to Cook one more time, deflected. And so they got the call there. The line judge said that it was out of bounds, but the ball was definitely deflected. So definitely a clear tip there. That's what both the referees and the other line judge called. All right, so 11-10. That was a little nerve-wracking there for just a brief moment. Man, number 13, Olivia Short. Far from short on that swing. Let it all go. And now a 12-10 Wabash lead with number 3, Emma Tracy, back to serve. Tell you what, she's a powerful hitter right there. Stewart sets it over to Cook. And in play for the kill is Chloe. She keeps on cooking with that point right there. Now 12-11. And Reese Baker will now drop back to serve. Nice serve there from Baker. The free ball action here. Got to use this one. Summers bringing it there, deflected up in the air. Nice job by Baker. Stand with it on the dig. Cook back at it again. Yes. Now tied at 12. Shank to the right side. Nice job there by Tracy to get over there in time. Stewart sets it to Cook again. Dug out by Tracy. And inbounds, number 5. Jordan Stumbo collects the kill. Stumbo came in with the third on the team in kills with 211. Skipped over the top of the net. Nice job there by Emily Stewart. Set on there to Summers. Handled there by Tracy. Set backwards. And deflected up in the air. And, oh wow, there was no point. That ended up working out for Wabash either way. I thought it fell in there for Wabash initially. There's Stewart to Cook. Dug by Faust. And number 5 again, Jordan Stumbo with the kill and a timeout taken here by Wapahani. And we'll go ahead and take a timeout here with them again. 15-12. Wabash leads here in the first set. Step aside, and again, this is our Stoops Automotive Group game break. All righty, folks, coming back out of the timeout here again. Wabash on top here by 3, 15-12. And now we have a talk here between the referees. Okay, so I guess they need to fix the towels. Doing a little laundry here. Okay. Okay. Well, I think we might have everything possibly situated here. So nevertheless, back to volleyball here with, again, number 13, Olivia Short back there to serve. Dug out there. Stewart with a set up to Cook. And I thought there was a deflection there, but instead there was not. So another point here for Wabash as they're going on a little bit of a run here now. 4 consecutive put together. There's Stewart. Back to Stewart now. Set on the Summers. Trying to find that right side over there. Back to Stewart, or Summers once more. Dug by Faust. And this hit there a couple times around as the Raiders will take the point. A much needed point there for Wapahani. It's now 16-13. Olivia Smith back there to serve. Nice job keeping it up in the air. Summers back on the attack there. Dug out by Fields. There's Stumbo. Now Baker sends it back over to Summers. And in there. Summers again collects the kill. Very, very big point there as the Raiders not necessarily out of it, but trying to get back into things, make it a little bit more even here, see if we can go on a run. Dug there by Faust, now set to Wyatt. There's Stewart. Back to Summers, and nice layout there by number 5, Stumbo. Set to Wise, yes! 3 consecutive put together here by the Raiders. Now 16-15. And Olivia Smith still back to serve here for Wapahani. Raider fans letting them hear it. Stomping the feet, clapping the hands. Tracy with a set up here to Stumbo. There's a nice deflection there by the blockers up front. Set to Summers again. And a net violation called on the Apaches. And so now we're tied right back up. What a nerve-wracking game already. Gotta love state tournament sports. I don't care what sport it is. But golly, I'll tell you what, brings out every kind of feeling that you can imagine. As that's a good old flash and stuff in there for number 21, Mariah Wyatt. Again, led the team in blocks as well on the season with 104. Dug there by Baker, set to Summers. That's deflected out of bounds. Point for Wapahani. Tell you what, real nice to see Mallory come in here and so far have the game she's having. At least as of right now, she is flying on all cylinders. So we have Emma Shuck back in and Allison Stewart back to serve. Stewart with a set up to Summers and blocked again. Again, from a defensive standpoint, talked about this before, they are pretty impressive team overall. 234 blocks on the year. Digs 2,254 averages out to 19.9 digs per set. So defense definitely not a problem. And they got quite a few great hitters on here too. It's just for them, at least throughout the season, has been keeping it in bounds. But it doesn't look like that's been a problem here so far. This Wabash team, a very impressive group of young ladies to watch. Wapahani staying right there as Summers will be back to serve. Shank backwards there, kept alive there by Faust, and miscommunication will end up in a point here for Wapahani as we take our first lead here in a good while. Now, better time than ever. Set up there to Wyatt, handled. Set now to Baker. Westendorf was right there, now back to Wyatt, blocked! And the Raiders now with a 20-18 lead and a timeout taken here by Wabash. So we'll go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors here this evening. FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. Let Ted and Joanne be the key to all of your real estate needs. Buying, selling, or investment properties, we get the job done. Call Ted Cook at 765-744-8143 and Joanne Davis at 765-748-1316. Again, that is FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook, and Joanne Davis. So back at the timeout. Short, sweet, and to the point, I suppose. For Wabash there, delivered the message quickly, and so we'll find out here. Mallory Summers now again back to serve out of the timeout with Wapahani up here by 2. Handled there by Fields, set. And dug there by Summers. Now set to Baker. Faust digging it. Right back that time. Nice dig from Allison Stewart. Set to Summers. And tipped. That's going to be a point for Wabash. That was, I believe, number 17. Field. Well, actually, no, might have been number 19. Westendorf, potentially. Couldn't quite get the number there. Apologize. Nevertheless, 20-19 now with Mariah Wyatt back there to serve. Smith digs it. Stewart sets it up for Wise. Dug by Westendorf. Tipped over. Here we go again. Now Stewart set to Shuck. Flacked it up in the air. Wyatt handles it. Back there to number 10. Stewart to Baker. Wyatt will get there. Tipped over. I think they might have got away with a 2-hit call. But it is what it is. And then blocked right back down by Olivia Short. Goodness. And so now we'll have another timeout, this time by Wapahani. And again, we'll stick right here with you during the timeout for our Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership game break. I tell you what, this is definitely living up to the hype that I thought it would. Wabash and Wapahani back and forth here. And this Wabash team, I said it already a couple different times, but from a defensive standpoint, they are about as solid as it comes from a overall blocking standpoint. Digs, with the back row, getting the deflections up front as well from your front row players. This is big time here for them. And for Wapahani's standpoint, we've got to find a way around that. We've got to find a way around some of these blockers, try to expose some open holes here, and see what we can gather together. There's Summers on to Stewart. Wise tips it over, and we'll get that one down in play there for Cameron Wise. As we'll see, number 1, Ashlyn Cruz, back in here for the Apaches, and now in here for Wapahani, Gracie Stanley for Emma Shuck, Cameron Wise, as Gracie Stanley will be back to serve. Dug there by Short. And off of Stewart and out of bounds. Now again tied at 21. So we'll see Smith back in for Wapahani. And serving now for Wabash will be number 10, Farron Morris. There's Summers to Stewart on the Cook. And another block. Holy Moses. Sank backwards and out of bounds. The Raiders unfortunately going the wrong way here. Stewart to Cook and another block. I mean, Olivia Short has been on a mission here for Wabash. It has been an absolute block party. And obviously not a party that we want to be a part of right now. So set point here for Wabash. Set to Cook, another block. And Wabash will take the first set. All of those right there came with the block from Olivia Short. So we'll move on to set number 2. Wabash leads at 1-0. We'll be back with more live here on the WHS Network.
Need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
Alrighty, welcome back here, folks, live on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again, with a first set victory here for Wabash. Coming out here, you rattle off, I think it was right around 5 points in a row there, to be quite honest with you. And I believe at least 3, possibly 4 of those were from a block by Olivia Short. So we have got to figure something out there to obviously steer away from her, change things up here a little bit. But you got to stay poised. No question about that one. And that was out of bounds off of Wabash. So a point there for Wapahani. We'll have a substitution here, number 17, Kendall Fields, now in the ball game. But no reason to start, getting all bent out of shape, nothing like that. You got to stay poised, stay together, and, hopefully get after it here in this second set. It was right there, neck and neck there in the first set. Just these blocks are killing us. And there was another one right there, for instance. I mean, it has been a block party here for Wabash. So, like I said, that's when you might just have to change things up here a little bit. Blend in some little soft touches over the net. Then maybe go for the hammer. Whatever the case, you want to steer clear of the hands. That's the objective, obviously. So Summers able to do that right there with a kill. Now 2-1 Wapahani lead. And we will see Emma Schuck back in for the Raiders and Allison Stewart back to serve. Westendorf with a set up there to Wyatt. Smith unable to get there in time to get anything on it, and we're now tied at 2. So we'll see number 15, Jade Stumbo, back in. And number 19, Alexis Westendorf back to serve. And that's going to sail on out of bounds. Now, for Wapahani's sake, we would love to see a lot more of that because at least from these season stats up to this point, I don't even think they even had a serving error the entire first set. If they did, it was only one. But unfortunately, we gave it right back to them. So Summers serves that into the net. We'll see a dynamic blocker of Olivia Short back in here. That's no fun for the Raiders. But Mariah White, they're back to serve. Summers to Stewart, on over to Baker. Short on the attack there, and Cameron Wise had some other ideas right there with the block by Cameron Wise on Olivia Short. So the Raiders back on top here with Gracie Stanley back in here for the Raiders, and she'll be back to serve. Dug out there now. Faust will get it over. Stanley shanks over there to the right side. So right now some little passing issues here for Wapahani. Smith back in, and now serving for Wabash will be number 10, Farron Morris. Set on there to Cook. Now dug there by Morris. Nice save there by the Raiders. Soft touch over the net there by Baker. Exactly what I was just talking about. You drew the blockers up. You had number 15, which is Jade Stumbo. Then you have Olivia Short coming up there fast and furious, waiting for that block. And Baker just tips it right on over their hands. Again, changing it up to keep your opponents off balance here. And another serving error for the Raiders. So now back to serve for the Apaches will be number 3, Emma Tracy. Set to Cook. Deflected out of bounds, point for the Raiders, and now back with a slim 6-5 lead. And back to serve will be none other than number 2, Reese Baker. Love to see her get us on a roll right here. Needs something to get us jump started here a little bit. There'll be a short there on the attack, dug out by Smith, set on to Summers, and out of bounds. Number 21, Mariah Wyatt, re-enters the game for Wabash. Number 13, Olivia Short back to serve. There's Stewart to Stewart on the Summers. And I'll tell you what, number 5, Jordan Stumbo about ate that volleyball right there. I mean, that was put down with some authority. So Wise back in, Smith back to serve. Wapahani with a 7-6 lead. There's Stewart to Wise, and it worked out there. Tell you what, that might have been heading out of bounds there. Smith digs it. Stewart sets it to Summers. Soft touch over the net. And again, it draws the defenders in, at least from a blocking standpoint. The blockers drawn up on the net pretty quick. Dropped it right over the hands and down in play. Tracy with a setup here. Just set over the net. A little free ball action here. Wise on the attack, and out of bounds is the call. That sure would have been a nice one to have, but nonetheless, number 6, Haley Faust, serving for Wabash. There's Baker to Stewart. Summers bringing the thunder. Returning to the Raider lineup, number 5, Emma Shuck, and Allison Stewart will be back to serve. Westendorf gets there now to Wyatt, blocked by Cameron Wise. And the Raiders now up here by 4. Dug out by Faust, set to Wyatt, deflected, nice job of Stewart staying with it. Now a little free ball action here for Wabash. Set to Wyatt, blocked, kept alive. Will they get it over? They will. There's Summers, back to Stewart, now to Wise. Yes! Yes! Heck yes! And the Raiders now lead at 12-7, timeout Wabash. And we'll step aside for a quick timeout of our own. The Raiders up by 5. We'll be back with more live on the WHS Network. Alrighty, folks, back out of the timeout here again. Wapahani leading it by 5. Set up there to Wyatt. Smith with the dig. Stewart sets it back to Summers. Deflected up in the air. Nice job there by Shuck. Very close to the net. Was able to put a nice ball there together and hit out of bounds. So 12-8. We'll see number 15, Jade Stumbo, back in here for the Apaches. And now number 10, Farron Morris, back to serve. Smith to Stewart, to Wise. Yes! Cameron Wise collects the kill, and the Raiders now up by 5 once more. Then Summers back to serve. Nice serve there from Mallory. Set on to Wyatt, hit into the net. Hitting that off the back leg right there. Spelled trouble there for Wyatt early. Another nice serve by Morris now with a dig. Set to Wise. Another one brought to the table there by Cameron. Free ball action here. Let's see what we can do. Set to Wise. Putting it down again. Oh, man. And it's 15-8 Wapahani. Pardon me if I'm getting a little excited, but my goodness. This is beautiful. And Shank backwards, and now that's going to be an ace. So we'll see Olivia Short back in here for the Apaches. And, well, Summers put just a tad bit too much mustard on that one. As that one sailed out of bounds, probably a good close to 10 feet right there. Nevertheless, great job there by Mallory and the rest of the crew. Nice little run there. Now just got to keep it going here. Stewart sets it up here to Wise. And another one down in play. And again, we're changing it up. I guess you have to adjust as game goes along. And the Raiders have seen, or at least have shown some of that now here in this second set. And that first set, I mean, it was just hammer, hammer, hammer all the time. And we weren't changing it up, and Wabash knew what we was coming at, so they sent the blockers up there. They, obviously we put a good hitting on the ball, and then they would block it right back down at us. This time changing the pace up a little bit here and not, doing everything repetitiously. Instead, we're keeping Wabash more off balance from our overall hitting standpoint. So we'll see Smith back in for the Raiders, and back to serve will be Farron Morris. There's Summers to Stewart on the shock. And that's going to be hit well out of bounds off of Westendorf. And the Raiders now with another 8-point lead here as Emma Tracy returns for the Apaches. And Emily Stewart will return here for Wapahani, and she'll drop back to serve. Dug by Cruz, set up to short. Man. Tell you what, that young lady has got it going on tonight. Blocking, hitting. Heck, even the serves are a little tricky to handle as well. Baker on the attack there, finds some open real estate. Beautifully done there by Reese Baker. And the Raiders now with a 19-11 lead here in the second set. Again, Wabash, if you're just now joining us, Wabash took the first set 25-21. And what was a block party to end that set for Wabash. Cook on the attack there, mishandled there from number 6, Haley Faust. So Cook able to collect, and a timeout taken here by Wabash, and we'll go ahead and stick right here with you during the timeout. Again, this is our Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership game break. Again, some more sponsors we'd like to recognize here this evening. Stoops Automotive Group Buick and GMC dealership, owned by Randy Stoops and located at 4055 West Clara Lane in Muncie, Indiana. Stoops has a wide variety of brand new and pre-owned vehicles of quality brand names. So if you have an interest in a vehicle, like some more information about one, you can contact Stoops at 765-288-1903 and also visit their online website at www.stoopsauto.com. Also, their hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. They're also open Saturday from 8 to 4. So again, a special thanks to Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC dealership. Stoops is driven to be the best. So now following the timeout, Wapahani with a 20-11 lead here in the second set. We have Reese Baker back to serve. Handled there by Tracy Westendorf with a setup to short. That looked to have been out of bounds, but line judge called it in. And so that's the call we're going to go with here now, 20-12. As Mariah Wyatt will return to action here for the Apaches, and Olivia Short back to serve. There's Smith on to Stewart, now to Summers. A net violation called on Wabash. There's going to be a point for Wapahani either way, because Summers was able to get that in the back line. But now we'll have number 17, Kendall Fields, returning to action for Wabash. And Olivia Smith back to serve. And out of bounds. So the point goes to Wabash. So Faust back to serve. Baker handles that one. That looked to have been sailing out of bounds. Summers on the attack there. Westendorf with a set up to Wyatt, handled by Stewart. On the Stewart, back to Summers, and that will fall in. Here comes Emma Schuck back in here for Emily Stewart. Allison Stewart now back to serve with the Raiders up 22-13. So just 3 points away from that oh so magical number, 25. Set up to Wise. Stewart lays out for Smith. To Wise, not to Wise, to Summers rather. And hit straight into the net there by Haley Faust. 23-13. Flecked up in the air. Nice job there by Shuck to keep it going. Now to Wise, a block. I knew that was going to happen. Look at that. Beautifully done by Mallory Summers. She had all the momentum going in the world like she was going to put it down quick, fast, and in a hurry. Draw the blockers up, and then pull them right out of their shoes and fell right down into play. And then Stewart will serve it out of bounds. So still set point. Now 24-14. And we'll have number 15, Jade Stumbo, back in here for the Apaches. And number 19, Alexis Westendorf, back to serve. There's Smith to Stewart to Wise. Yes, sirree, ladies and gentlemen. 25-14. Wapahani takes the second set, the very most important set so far now. Coming up will be the third set now, tied at 1. We'll step aside and we'll be back with more here from Elwood High School.
We know the right way to get you where you need to go. We'll be the wheels underneath you, out on the road. We're driven to give you the best service. We're driven cause we know you deserve it. Stoops, we're driven to be the best. Stoops, we're driven to be the best.
Folks, welcome back live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again, we appreciate you all for joining us here for this Saturday night affair here from Elwood High School in Elwood, Indiana. Again, with the Regional 10 Volleyball Championship on tap here this evening. And tell you what a game we have so far, tied at 1 set apiece. Wabash again took the first set 25-21 off of just some misfortune there by Wapahani's behalf. But then second set, your Raiders came firing back with some fury and played a lot more like it. First set, played pretty good, but just got hung up on a few things there. So now the very, very important third set now underway. Westendorf sends it over the net there. Here's Stewart setting it on up to Cook. And a net violation called on Wabash, and the Raiders will draw the first point here in set number 3. Again, we knew coming into the evening that this would, at least, I guess from my standpoint, I figured it'd be a great ball game. You look at stats, and because you get to this time of the year, there's number 5, Jordan Stumbo, puts it down for the kill. You get to this time of the year, you really don't know hardly any of these teams. You might have heard of them, but outside of that, you know nothing. So it's just about looking up the stats, and stats aren't always everything. If they pass the eye test, then you kind of know. And without question here, this Wabash team, you can definitely tell it's a tough team, but I'll tell you what, your Wapahani Lady Raiders came out there in that second set after dropping a very, discouraging first set there, after you had a late lead there and it was close throughout the first set and was able to drop that. Kind of disappointing there, but they kept getting after it, and that second set was fabulous here for Wapahani. So now you look into this third set now, as we're tied at 2 after the hit by Summers sailed out of bounds. We'll have Haley Faust now back to serve. But obviously the most important side of the ball game right here. But you gotta continue to break it down, continue to do what you did correctly there in that second set here if you're Wapahani. Baker handles that one there, set on up to Summers. Tracy there with the dig, set back to Wyatt, and mishandled by Stewart, and now a 4-2 Wabash lead. Little floater serve there. Somehow Wapahani gets it over. Wyatt back on the attack, deflected out of bounds off of the Raiders. And so the Apaches off to a fast start here in set number 3. 5-2 lead early here in this one. Summers to Stewart. Sets it there into the back row, nothing there. Wyatt again after it, and some miscommunication on behalf of Baker and Smith, and a timeout taken here by Wapahani. That will stick right here with you. So again, already to start off with here, just some little issues. Communication right there is always such a big one. And I understand too. You get into the thick of the game right here. You got the crowd yelling and stuff. You might not necessarily always be able to hear everything at all times. Tough break there for Wapahani, but find yourself down by 4 early here in the set. We've got to start getting back after it here. So following the timeout again, we will have number 6, Haley Faust, back to serve here for the Apaches as they lead it 6-2 here in the third set. There's Baker to Stewart to Wise. Worked great right there, now 6-3. And we'll see Emma Schuck reacclimate herself into the Raider rotation. And Allison Stewart now back to serve. Dug out there by Fields. Nice dig from Baker. Stewart sets up the Schuck. Faust will get there. Now back to Wyatt. And putting it all on the table right there was Mariah Wyatt. So Jade Stumbo back in for the Apaches, and now serving is Westendorf, Alexis Westendorf. There's Smith, now Stewart. Wise tipped over the net, and Wyatt wasn't having any of that. Another quick block. So you can already tell Wabash playing completely different than what they did in the second set, playing a lot more like what they did in the first set, a lot more upbeat. Nice tip over the net right there from Summers. Flying through the air. A very close set to the net, so about the only place she had to stop her momentum. So Summers back to serve. All right, there's Smith to Stewart. And we're just going to volley it over the net right there. Now another setup this time. Handled by Smith again, set to Baker now. And hit out of bounds. So subbing back in here, number 13, Olivia Short. which again is not someone you want to see right now with the game she's been having. Laying out right there was Stewart, set on to Summers. And that one will fall in front of Mariah Wyatt. So now 9-5. We have Cruz back in for the Apaches. We'll see we'll see Gracie Stanley now in here for Cameron Wise. And Stanley will be back to serve. Westendorf on over there. Nice dig from Summers. Stewart with a setup now to Baker. And in there, deflected. Landed in bounds either way. Nicely done there by Baker and crew on that point. Now 9-6. Again with Stanley back to serve. Short going at it there, and just in front of the outstretched hands of Gracie Stanley. So again, number 10, Farron Morris back to serve. Stewart sets it to Cook. Now on over there. Oh, goodness gracious, Smith gets there. Stewart now to Cook. And out of bounds is the call. And now we'll have a discussion of the minds with the up referee, the down referee, and one of the line judges. And that'll be a point for Wabash. So back to a 5-point cushion here for the Apaches. Summers, Stewart, Cook. Out of bounds again. Nice set over the net, and that's going to be shanked out of bounds by Westendorf. It's a nice change of pace there by Allison Stewart. But we have got to get things clicking on all cylinders quickly. So we'll see Emily Stewart back in here for Emma Shuck. Stewart will be back to serve. Here for your Raiders. And that serve sails out of bounds. Stewart with a setup to Cook. That time it falls in. Tell you what, we really need to get her going. Because to be truthfully honest with you, from an offensive standpoint, outside of Summers, it's not really been a huge threat from a hitting standpoint, at least here in this third set. We can get her and Mallory going. Also, Cameron Wise had a real nice game so far. Set up to short, blocked by Cook. Gotta fight, gotta claw your way back into it here. Down by 4. Dug out there by Faust, and have a 2-hit call on the Apaches. Handled there by Faust, set up to Stumbo. Stewart gets a hand in there on it. And that will head out of bounds. Kill goes to Summers. And now a timeout taken here by Wabash. So Wapahani starting to build steam again, getting that Raider locomotive back a-rolling again here, down by 2 here in the third set. We'll be back right after this. Alrighty, folks, coming out of the timeout here early, so we had to end that commercial quick, fast, and in a hurry. They didn't even use but maybe 20 seconds of the timeout. So Cook on the attack there. There was number 5, Stumbo, and blocked. I'm not sure if that was by Cook or Summers. I don't care who it was. We got the block, we got the point, and that's all that matters. 13-12. Again, Baker still back to serve. Dug out there by Tracy, set up to Stumbo, getting a deflection there. There's Baker, set on to Summers, deflected up in the air. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Little drop shot right there, just kind of worked out there for Olivia Short. Unfortunately, Wapahani did not get there in time. So we'll see Wyatt back in and Short back to serve. There's Smith. To Stewart, to Summers. Oh, yes! 14-13. Kendall Fields back in for the Lady Apaches, and Olivia Stewart, for heaven's sakes. Olivia Smith. It's been a long day, folks. Olivia Smith back to serve. Mishandled in an ace. And this game is now tied. So the Raiders down by as much, I think, was like 6 or 7 points. Have came fighting and clawing back to even it up. Blocked, and the Raiders will take it again. And now take the lead, 15-14. So you got some rumble in the stands. Got some momentum going on your side. And, well, that all came to a halt right there after Mariah Wyatt put one down. So now tied at 15. We'll see number 6, Haley Faust, back to serve. Smith digs it. Stewart to Summers. Kept alive there by Faust. Now Baker digs it. Stewart narrowly gets there. And yes, Summers with the kill. And back up again are the Raiders. Emma Schuck back in for Emily Stewart. And Allison Stewart will drop back to serve. And somehow they will get it over, but now a net violation as Westendorf makes her way under the net. So a point there for Wapahani, as we'll see Olivia Short back in, adding some extra offense here for the Apaches. No question about that. Shanked off to the right side, and an ace. (18-15) Wapahani. Short to Westendorf on the Wyatt. Hit out of bounds. And a point goes to the Raiders now, leading 19-15, and we'll have a timeout by Wabash. So, folks, we'll stick right here with you during the timeout. I'd like to thank some more sponsors here this evening. during our Stoops Automotive Group game break. I'd like to thank Liberty Perry Alumni Association President Richard Morris. Liberty Perry Alumni Association serves as the Wapahani, Center, and Selma High School alumni. Make sure to visit their online website at www.libertyperryalumni.com to get information on any events and to purchase any Wapahani-related items on their web store. Also, to purchase an engraved brick for the alumni brick walkway, you can simply fill out a form on the homepage of the alumni website. Okay, so following the timeout, again, it's 19-15 Wapahani. Short digs it out, shanks it out of bounds, and another ace for Allison Stewart. Subbing back in here for the Lady Apaches will be number 17, Fields. A serve there from Allison. Wide on the attack and hit well out of bounds. 21-15 Wapahani. It's got to keep being resilient here if you're the Raiders. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I guess I just had to say something. Serving into the net right there. We'll have number 15, Jade Stumbo, back in here for the Lady Apaches. Alexis Westendorf back to serve. Baker handles it now. Smith on to Shuck. Well, free ball action here for Wabash. Wyatt gets it blocked. Man, it looked like that might have been a two-hit call on that young lady. Well, give credit there to Allison Stewart. Laid out for it, tried to get there. But here come the Apaches again. There's Baker to Stewart. Now to Weiss. Yes. The recipe for success right there now, 22-17. Mallory Summers will now drop back to serve. Handled there by Fields, set up to Stumbo. Jade Stumbo. Wise back at it again. Faust gets a hand on it. Mallory Summers laying out for it now to Shuck on the attack. Blocked right back where it came from. I'll tell you what, this is one heck of a blocking team. One heck of a blocking team. Defensively all the way around the board here. So Mariah Wyatt back to serve. There's Summers, a miscue there. Kept alive, and Summers will set it to the back row. Short on the attack, there's Smith to Stewart. Now to Baker with the old left hand. Popped up in the air. Come on, got to put it down right here. Wise does. Westendorf digs it. That was a bad set there by Wabash. Set to Baker one more time. They get it back over again. Set to Summers. All right, it's time to end it right here. And that's exactly what happens. Cameron Wise with the kill. And it's 23-18 Wapahani. Hope you all got that volume level turned down on the computers, TVs, whatever you're watching us on. Because if not, the speaker system might be shot by the end of this. And Stanley will serve it out of bounds. Unfortunate there for Gracie, but nonetheless, Smith back in here. We'll see number 10, Farron Morris back to serve. There's Summers to Stewart, now to Cook. Kept alive, and that's going to be 4 hits in the Raiders. Now 1 point away from taking the third set. Hold on, okay, so we'll see Emma Tracy now in here for the Apaches. Emily Stewart now in for Emma Shuck, and she'll drop back to serve. Handled there by Cruz. Short on the attack. Dug by Summers. And that's going to be blocked right back down by number 5, Jordan Stumbo. 24-20. So Emma Tracy now back to serve. There's Stewart to Cook. Back here to Short once more. Stewart lays out for it. Now Allison sets it to Baker. Faust with the dig. Set over the net. Stewart trying to do the same thing. Stumbo will get it blocked. And the Raiders take set number 3. 25-20. And the Raiders now with a 2-set-to-1 lead. Taking back-to-back sets. Oh, man. We'll head to set number 4 coming up live here on the WHS Network. Don't go anywhere.
Need legal advice or representation, you can trust B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law in Muncie. Our focus is personal injury. We handle cases involving serious injuries, wrongful deaths, all vehicle crashes, nursing home cases, medical product and drug recalls, and slips, trips, and falls. No fee until we win. We offer evening, weekend, home, and hospital appointments for your convenience. Contingency fee arrangements are available. For a free consultation, call B. Joseph Davis, attorney at law, today.
All righty, folks, welcome back live here on the WHS Network on YouTube.com. Again here with set number 4 of the evening between the Wabash Apaches and your Wapahani Raiders. Again, Wabash took the first set 25-21, but the Raiders, the resilient group they have here, came back with the next 2 sets. In the second set, 25-14, third set, 25-20 victories. So a very important 4th set right here. If you're Wapahani, obviously Wabash is in definite fight mode now. But if you're Wapahani, we've got to continue the pace we're on as far as the success we've been able to have. You've got to keep it rolling here. You've got to keep whatever momentum you have, and you've got to keep it rolling. Set up there to Summers, and that's a beautiful way to get it started right there. 1-0 off the kill for Mallory Summers. We'll see Cameron Wise back in. And now back to serve will be Olivia Smith. Tracy with a setup. Haley Faust will get it over. Stewart now to Wise. Tracy's there. Now Westendorf to Wyatt. Smith lays out for it. There's Stewart. Summers on the attack. Faust digs it. Now Stumbo. Just tipped across there by Wise. All right, so here we go. Perfect, great opportunity right here. Mistimed, unfortunately. Westendorf back to Wyatt. Baker lays out for it, but to no prevail. They had some opportunities right there. Unfortunately, the Raiders let that one go by the wayside. But nevertheless, get back after it now. Here now tied at 1 with number 6, Haley Faust, back to serve. There's Smith to Stewart. Back to Wise. And out of bounds is the call. Baker handles it. Summers with a setup to Wise, blocked by Wyatt. Now Stewart again, this time to Summers, and they're going to say that was blocked. Well, we'll take it. That'll end up working out for Wabash either way. They always say the ball don't lie, and the ball, I don't think lied right there one bit. Because that definitely should have been a point already there for Wabash. Nonetheless, now 3-1 Apaches. Summers right on the line. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Now we'll have a meeting of the minds again. Oh, that was right on the line. Now, and I'm not trying to be biased, when I say that. I'm calling the game, as I see it, but that was right on the line. So if this is a redo, that will be very disappointing. I mean, very disappointing. So it should be 3-2. It'll be Wapahani serve. At least it should be. That was the call on the floor, and that was the right call, at least from my standpoint anyway. Oh, my goodness. They changed the call, and it was Wabash's point. All right. Nothing you can do about that now. Stewart on to Summers. There's Westendorf now to Faust. Westendorf on the attack there. Smith, come on, put it down right here. Way to change it up. Oh, the ball don't lie that time, and that one fell in. Now 4-2. And Emma Schuck returns to action here for Emily Stewart. And Allison Stewart now back to serve. Dug out by Tracy, tipped over the net. All right, there's Schuck to Stewart. On to Summers. Deflected out of bounds. Point for the Raiders. Dug by Tracy, now set to Wyatt. Summers is there, set right back to her. Just over the blockers' hands, and a miscue there by the Apaches, and the Raiders have tied it up. So 3 consecutive put on the board. Heck yes for the Raiders. Tracy digs, and now Westendorf sets it to Wyatt. Schuck will keep it alive. And now Summers back at the attack as Farron Morris gets the hands up in the air and really got it up in the air that time as that one sailed out of bounds. Point for Wapahani. Nice serve from Allison. That's diving action there. Smith lays out for it. Stewart with a setup, and Baker will just volley it across here. A little free ball action for Wabash. Tipped over. Oh, man, it's unfortunate there for Cameron. Not a bad idea right there. I mean, it was set up nicely, just unfortunately didn't work out for it. So we will see Westendorf back to serve. Smith to Stewart on the Summers. Faust right there to dig it. A miscommunication there, but nonetheless get it over there. Summers sets it right over the net. I'll tell you what, man, some of these points sometimes, and the way that they're able to finagle the ball right in the placement where they want it is absolutely astonishing. That was a fabulous shot right there, if you will, by Mallory Summers. Westendorf with a setup to Wyatt, and that sails out of bounds. That was a great job there by Allison Stewart to recognize that was obviously very close to heading out of bounds. Luckily, she pulled the hands away and didn't take it. And Summers serves that one out of bounds there, so serving error for the Raiders is number 13, Olivia Short, returns to action for the Lady Apaches, and number 21, Mariah Wyatt, will be back to serve. Wise, Stewart, Shuck. Nice layout there from Summers. Now set to Baker. Block kept alive. All right, now Wise after it there. Short again after it, and that time out of bounds. So point there for your Raiders. Let's see, Cook back in here for Wapahani. And Gracie Stanley also now in here for Wise and back to serve. Handled there by Westendorf to Short. There's Shuck. Stewart back to Cook. Bring it! A kill there for Chloe, now 9-6 Wapahani. Short to Westendorf, back to her again. Stanley digs it. Stewart sets it to Cook. Blocked out of bounds. And Wapahani now with a 10-6 lead and a timeout taken by Wabash. They will take a timeout here with them. The Raiders lead at 10-6 here in set number 4. Again, Wapahani with a 2-1 lead for the Regional 10 Championship. We'll be back with more right after this break. Alrighty, folks, so back out of the timeout here now. 10-6, Wapahani leads here in this fourth set. Set on there to Short, and she'll hit that one at the very end of the net. Now 11-6 Wapahani. You can kind of tell here, some of this is starting to really affect the Apaches. And I mean, no offense, but if you're Wapahani right here, this is really where you got to put it to them. You got to, I guess, essentially kick them while they're down. So Short hits that one out of bounds because you cannot give a team like this any kind of hope whatsoever. The kind of team that they have, pretty nice. So if you're in the driver's seat here, you definitely don't want to, I guess, let them right back into things. Because that one also hit out of bounds, that time by Farron Morris. And that's 13-6 Wapahani. So again, we still have Gracie Stanley back to serve. Dug out there by Faust. Westendorf right back to her. Now Stewart with the dig. Summers sets it up to Shuck, and that's going to be off the antenna. Bad set there by Summers, not something that she does every single day, so I guess just got to kind of essentially give her a free pass right there. It's unfortunate, but nothing you can do about it. Let's move on right here, get this next point here. 13-6, or pardon me, 13-7. So we will see, again, Farron Morris back to serve. Dug by Summers. Stewart with a set up to Shuck. And that's going to be hit out of bounds by Jordan Stumbo. We'll see Emily Stewart re-enter the game here for Emma Shuck, and she'll drop back to serve. Also now in here for the Lady Apaches will be number 3, Emma Tracy. And Stewart serves that one into the net. All right, so Emma Tracy now back to serve. Wapahani up 14-8 here in the fourth set. Stewart digs it. Stewart with a set up here to Cook. And that's going to fall on in there, deflected out of bounds off of Olivia Short. So now Reese Baker will drop back to serve here for your Raiders. Faust with the dicks. And that was set up there by Westendorf. Stewart now on to Summers, bringing it there with Cruz. Passing it out of bounds, and the Raiders now double up here on the Apaches, 16-8. Nice serve and ace for Reese Baker. And it's 17-8 Wapahani. So serving error for Baker. So Olivia Short now back to serve. Also Wyatt back in the ball game. Stewart to Summers. Haley Faust laying out for that one. Stewart setting it up nicely, putting it on a platter there for Chloe Cook. She just cooked that platter right on up and served it to him. 18-9. I'll tell you what, that might have been my best saying all night there, Redbeard. All right, nonetheless, 18-9 there. Smith was back to serve momentarily. And that one is hit out of bounds by Jordan Stumbo. So the Raiders inching ever so closer. And that's going to be served out of bounds. So we'll see Haley Faust back to serve here for the Apaches. Baker there. Stewart lays out for, I don't know how in the world she got there. That is getting on it. Set to Wyatt. Stewart with the dig, and that's going to sail out of bounds. So now 19-11 Wapahani. Smith to Stewart to Wise. There was Wyatt digging it out. Now Stewart back to Wise. Worked out that time around. Tell you what, Cameron's had a real nice game here for herself. There's a lot of, this whole team, after the, little hiccup there in that first set there at the end, we have done at least to this point, pretty solid job here. Baker stays with it. There's Stewart on the Shuck. Faust now to Westendorf, back to Wyatt. Shuck again getting a hand in on the action. Set to Summers. Bringing it there as that one's blocked. Back to Summers one more time. Set to Morris. Summers. Stewart. Wise. Deflected out of bounds. Point for Wapahani. And we'll have a timeout taken by Wabash. So Wapahani just 4 points away, folks, from taking the regional championship. So still got some work to do. So might as well get it done right here, right now. right, so the timeout over with. Back to action here with Allison Stewart back to serve. Dug out by Tracy. Westendorf on to Wyatt. There's Smith with the land out, digging it out there. Blocked by Wyatt. Boy, oh boy, have we seen that throughout the game tonight. But I will say this much. Wapahani has done a much better job of, again, finagling their way around those blockers as the game has went along here. Stewart with a set to Wise. Tipped over there by Wyatt. Very acrobatic right there. Wise back on the attack again. Faust. And a point here and a two-hit call on Wabash. Mallory Summers back to serve. This handled there by Morris, and that's going to be an ace. Caught Morris there in between. Very difficult to decide right there. You got a ball coming at you quick, fast, in a hurry. Another one right back there to her. Westendorf sets it up. Faust get it over a little free ball action here. Set to Wise. Blocked. There's Smith. Set to Baker now. And the line judge said he couldn't see it. It looked close. I mean, could have been on the line. Might have been a hair off of it. I don't know. I would say you just redo it. If I mean, yeah, obviously we want the point. It was close. I don't know, but I would. That's probably the right call. That's fair enough. Fair enough right there. So the referees got together, made the call there, so we're going to redo it here again now. 23-12. Again, Mallory Summers back to serve. Talk about being in defense mode there. Baker gets it blocked, but right back as Summers sends it over the top of him and down in play. And here we are, folks. Regional championship point, 24-12, Wapahani. So here we go. Westendorf on to Wyatt, and that's going to be in there for the kill. And the Apaches holding on. Olivia Short now back in here for Wabash. We'll see Mariah Wyatt back to serve. Here we go. There's Smith to Stewart to Wise. Dug out there by Faust. Now I'll tell you what, they got away with a two-hit there. Now Shuck on the attack. Faust keeps it going. Now Westendorf will free ball action. Stewart back to Wise again. And out of bounds. No deflection called. There's Baker to Stewart. Back to Baker one more time. Westendorf there. Sent on to Morris. Smith digs it out. Now to Summers and some free ball for Wabash. Set up to Short. Deflected out of bounds. Wabash keeps it going. (24-15) Wapahani. Smith digs it. Stewart sets it to Summers. Yes! And the Raiders have won the Regional 10 Championship as they move on to semi-state with this four-set victory over the Wabash Apaches. 21-25, 25-14, 25-20, and 25-15. Oh, heck yes! We'll be back with more right after this break. There you have it, folks, right there. Your Regional 10 champion Wapahani Lady Raiders. So they now move on to the semi-state next Saturday. Again, we're not sure where we'll be playing at. We'll either be playing at Frankfort or Plymouth. Either way, it's a long drive, but we're more than happy to make that long drive because that means that Wapahani's winning. But I tell you what a fabulous game, what a fabulous team to watch. And that Wabash team, I'll tell you what, a lot of respect for them. They are not an easy team to play by any means. Very tough, very gritty group. Hard-fought matchup right there. There's no question about that. But I tell you, got to give a lot of credit here to your Wapahani Raiders. Very resilient group. You know, after the unfortunate loss there in the opening set, 25-21, you had like 3 or 4 blocks right there in the span of 5 points that didn't go your way here for your Wapahani. You know, we didn't tuck our tail between our legs. We kept getting back after it, starting out there in that second set. Put it to Wabash in the second set. The third set was a lot closer, but still very good here for Wapahani. And then the fourth set finished them off. Very, very big win here for your Wapahani Lady Raiders, and very happy for them. And I tell you what, head coach Katie Weir and her coaching staff has done a wonderful job with this team. And I just hope they keep on keeping on, if you will, because this is a fun team to watch. You know, and sometimes, you know, yeah, you have some hiccups throughout the season. You have some great times, some bad times. But I tell you what, this team is really stuck together. They played hard. They played together, and like I said, they're just fun to watch. And I'm glad we can keep it going and move on to semi-state next week. So, again, congratulations to your 2019 IHSA Class 2A Regional 10 champion, Wapahani Raiders. Again, we appreciate you all for joining us here tonight live on the WHS Network. You know, it's been a great Saturday for all of us here to broadcast these ball games and to be a part of this Raider volleyball team. It's really quite wonderful to see, to be quite honest with you. It's good to see good things happen to good people. And so to be able to be a part of that and everything, and for all of you for watching us, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the other fans as well for coming out and supporting these young ladies. You know, to make the drive here. It's not a short drive by any means, but you know, it's nice to have our fans here. It's nice to have people on your side to watch us get it done. And so now we move on to next week. Again, we'll be posting more on our Twitter and Facebook pages about where we'll be playing, who will be playing next Saturday in the semi-state. But again, congratulations here to your Wapahani Raiders Regional 10 volleyball champions here from Elwood High School. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors, Jones Auto Body, Stoops Automotive Group, Buick and GMC Dealership, B. Joseph Davis, Attorney at Law, Muncie Dragway, FC Tucker, Muncie Realtors, Ted Cook and Joanne Davis, Liberty Perry Alumni Association, and Kara J. Wolf, DDS, PC. All proud sponsors of us here on the WHS Network. So until next week, folks, with semi-state volleyball, I'm Brandon Morvillius alongside cameraman Jordan Redbeard McCoy saying good night from Elwood.